Hello to all of you. I'm glad to have you join me again. This is the card that I'll be sharing with you. Love it, love it, love it. Look how cute that is. Okay, let's set that aside. The paper pack that I'm using is a new paper pack, and it is called Butterfly Kisses. For those of you who know that song, it's an older song. You know, right? If it's a song you've never heard before, look it up on YouTube. But if you have a child reaching a milestone right about now, be prepared to have a tear or two shed. But Butterfly Kisses is this paper, which is really sweet. Let me pull some of these out so you can see them. You got butterflies on the opposite side. Here they're really pretty, bright and cheery, okay? So Butterfly Kisses is the paper pack. And then I'll be using the stamp set, Sending Smiles. And then there are dies that go with that called Sending Dies. Okay? So I'll set that aside. Ink colors that I'll be using are Fresh Freesia and Starry Sky. Fresh Freesia has been in the catalog for a little bit. Starry Sky is a brand new in color. It's like a purple blue crossover. So it's not quite purple, not quite blue, somewhere in the middle. Okay. So let's go ahead with this. We'll get started. I'm just using a piece of basic white cardstock, 8.5 by 11 cut in half. I already have scored it. I don't always score when I'm doing white. And the only reason being the white cardstock is a little bit thinner than the colored cardstock. So colored cardstock, I always score. White paper sometimes not so much. But let's just fold that in half. Okay, so we're ready to go with that. And then I took a piece of paper from the pack here and I cut it down to 5 1/4 by 4. So basically what I did right there, that would be the size that would fit as a layer on that 5 1/4 by 4. But I want to do something a little bit different. Let me grab my paper cutter here. So again, 5 1/4 by 4. I'm going to cut this in half so that it's at 2 inches. So we'll do this, okay? So 5 1/4 by 4, and then I'm cutting in half, just right in half, right at 2 inches. So we'll get this out of here, don't need that anymore. And then what I'm going to do is I'm using this side, and then I'm going to flip over and use the other side. So let me go ahead and put this down. I hope you're all enjoying the new catalog. You can see everything online at stampedontherock.com. If you would prefer to have a hard copy and you do not have another demonstrator you're working with, shoot me a message. I'd be glad to get one to you. I can mail it to you. If you're not nearby, I can drop it off to you if you live near me. I am in the Lehigh Valley area in Pennsylvania, but I am more than happy to mail it to you also, if you're not nearby me, okay? All right, so there we go. So the super easy way, just take your piece of paper, cut it in half, and look at that. Love that, okay? All right, so then what I did with the next part is I stamped the words. Let me see right here. I took these words right here, and I stamped them on a piece of cardstock. And then in the dies that I showed you, there's a die that looks just like this. I put that right over top of it on the paper. And then I sent that through the cut and emboss machine. And that's what I ended up with. So just for saving a little bit of time, this is one because it's a clear stamp that you can actually cut these out too and then stamp afterwards. So either way, but I stamped this one, put this over top, ran it through the cut and emboss machine, and then there's my piece. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside for just a minute. I took this piece here. Some of this part is going to make some of you cringe. Some of you will love it. And it's just giving you an idea. If it's not for you, it's okay. So this is one of the pieces of paper that's in that pack I was showing you. They're very large butterflies, simple cut. So what I did with that one is I just cut out a whole bunch of them, the butterflies. And look at this. Don't be afraid to cut out some of these, the ones that are on the edges. Don't feel like, well, I can't use that one because it's off the edge, or I can't use this one. Yes, you can. Cut them all out. So I have some of these that are cut, and look at your, it's only a partial butterfly, but we can use those. Okay, I'll show you in just one second, but let me grab the words here. This stamp set has sending, and then there's smiles across the miles, all the good luck your way, sunshine to brighten your day, love and big hugs, birthday wishes, a note of thanks, a card to say hello, comfort and strength. Let me just grab the card to say hello. And sometimes it's easier to like flip them over this way and see which one. Okay, let me grab this one here. And we'll just gently lay this down. I'm going to use Fresh Freesia. And we're going to show you here, we're tap, tap, tap. Don't squish it in. When you squish it into your ink pad, you end up with ink on the block. We're not stamping with the block, so you don't need ink all over your block. So just tap, tap, tap. If that's not getting enough ink on your stamp, your ink pad might need to be re-inked. Okay. I'm going to stamp that right on here. Straight down, straight back up. Let me just show you on the back side. If you squish into your ink pad, if you're squishing too much, and you go in here and you're kind of rocking a little bit to make sure you get it all, look what happens. You end up catching edges like that, and you don't want that, okay? So just tap, 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 straight down, straight back up. So we're not going to use that side. We'll use this side here. Let me grab 1 second. Okay, so I'm using my blending brush here. I've used this before. Just getting a little bit of ink. And I'm going to start off of my paper and brushing on to the white paper. And just lightly, just gives a little softness to the edges. Just light, 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 light touch. Okay, and that's it. That's it for that. I'm going to put that aside. Okay, let's take this piece. And I'm going to go ahead and attach this on here. Okay, rub that down. Let's take the sending. I'm going to put dimensionals. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to take some dimensionals here and put those on the back of the sending. We're using all the edge pieces. Get your money's worth out of your dimensional packs and just cut up the edges. When that's all you have left, just cut them up and use those. They're great for little small areas too that you might want to put a dimensional on. Okay, get that. We'll put one more down here on the bottom. Let's see if I can cut one more here for us. Hang on 1 second. Okay. Okay, so these are all just edges I used, but they work great. Okay, take this sending, we're going to put that right across here. Okay, so we've got sending a card to say hello, and you could leave it just like that. But I want to add these butterflies in here, so let's see which butterflies. Just lay these out here and see what we can pick out. So here's one that was just cut in half. It was like on the edge. See how right here, it's like the edge of that paper there? We can use it. Just use that. What we're going to do is I'm going to take it right here. Let's put a little adhesive. We want to use as much as we can of our products and not be wasteful. So I'm going to take this, and I could put it like right along here, but I'm going to take it and we're going to right along this edge of the pattern paper. I'm going to put that right here. And it's hard to get adhesive on these little antennae so it's not flopping up there. What I can do is just tuck it underneath that sending. Okay, so that works right there. And then let's see, let's do that one. Just a preference. I'm going to take this butterfly, see if I can pick him up. And let's put him right up here. And I like to go off the edges a little bit. See how that edge, let's go off the edge a little bit. Got a little adhesive in there, so I'm just rubbing it to get that off of there. And there we go. And there's your card. Look at that. Okay. So here's the 2 cards. This is the original one. Here's the one we just made. Sending love and big hugs. Sending a card to say hello. So I hope you like that idea. If you like it, give it a try. You know where you can get these products at stampingontherock.com. Hit the share button below if you would like to share this with a friend or someone else, friend or a coworker, someone else who you know who enjoys crafting. And I would love to hear what you think. And if you go ahead and try this card at some point, shoot me a picture with what you created. And even if you don't have these exact papers, you could still use this idea with other papers that you have. So hope that helps you out and inspires you a little bit. Have a great week, and I'll talk with you later. Bye-bye.